By 20, average population density Indonesia has reached the number of 141 life per square kilometer. In Jakarta, the number has reached 16,700 square kilometers. And if we calculate it well, it is about 18 times denser than the average population density of Indonesia. This is very problematic because area is usually correlated with so many problems such as housing issues, transportation issues, or even criminality and also poverty. In Jakarta itself, we can see that there are so many slum areas that the quality of living there, we can say, are far from adequate living. United Nations has addressed this issue in their Sustainable Development Goals number 11 about sustainable cities and communities. I'm LUTHFIYAH ZAHRA, and allow me to tell you about what SDGs number 11 is really addressing. What are the challenges and problems that we are facing right now, and what can we do to solve these problems? So, firstly, Sustainable Development Goals number 11 focuses in making cities and human settlement inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. These SDGs and specifically targeting to A. Provide adequate, safe, and affordable housing, B. Manage slum area, C. Provide safe, affordable, accessible, and sustainable transportation systems, D. Create green spaces and city planning, and E. Reduce the adverse per capita environmental impact of cities, including the air quality, water quality, and other ways. By achieving these goals and its target, means that we can also address other SDGs such as poverty, good health and well-being, clean water and sanitation, climate change, and even economic growth. But what is happening in the status quo? So, city and communities in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta, the place that we're living right now, is not that sustainable, unfortunately. BPS has stated that there are 220 areas in Jakarta in itself that are categorized as slum area. They are very vulnerable to fire and flood, drainage conditions, population density, trash hauling, and numbers of puddles. These areas are very crowded and they usually illustrate extreme poverty. It is very common for us to see a very diverse behavior, culture, religion, and tribal residents in this area. A lack of awareness from people here can easily trigger conflicts in this area. Even if you can say that there are so many undergoing development and constructions in Jakarta, there are so many new skyscrapers and also sophisticated buildings in Jakarta, but it is not enough to reach the sustainable cities and communities. If those skyscrapers are still surrounded by vulnerable area that can easily get flooded or get burned in an instant moment, then the sustainable cities and communities we're talking about is far from what we can achieve. So, what can we do to solve these problems? In the government level, we can do three things. Firstly, distribute the development and constructions not only in the center area of Jakarta or around Java Island, but also to other provinces. So we can get an equal development in all area of Indonesia. Secondly, provide jobs and opportunities in other area of Indonesia. Because we cannot neglect the fact that people move to Jakarta or Java because they see that there are so many job and opportunities here. They want to make a living here. If we can move those opportunities outside of a very dense area, then we can make people do transmigrations, and we can have them live outside of Jakarta and even Java Island. And thirdly, make a policy to only give housing and building construction permissions to sustainable planning only, to gain the sustainable buildings and cities in itself. But on a personal level, what can we do to solve these problems? Firstly, we need to take care and maintain the public facilities. Secondly, use and maximize public transportations. And lastly, be aware of our actions and how it can impact the society. This has been Lala, and thank you very much.